Today, we will be discussing the topic of project time management. The following presentation is being produced for IST 302 and is brought to you by Benjamin Hancock, Leslie Koo, Shiyang Shi, Atit Patel, and Matt Gossick. In this presentation, we will be discussing what project time management consists of, why it is important to conducting projects, as well as certain techniques that are used for project time management. Project time management is considered one of the biggest sources of conflict within a project. This is understandable, as when a schedule is created, there are often many things that we cannot predict will happen during the project, no matter how much we prepare. In addition, time itself is not flexible by any means and cannot be controlled. This can lead to the project to exceed time estimates and also create frustration for those involved in the project. It is important for a project to be well planned and leave room for problems while also completing the project in a timely manner. This organization will lead to a less stressful project and help with accomplishing tasks in a shorter amount of time. There are several processes that are considered required for a project to be completed in a timely manner. These 7 processes are planning schedule management, defining activities, sequencing activities, estimating activity resources, estimating activity durations, developing the schedule, and controlling the schedule. Each of these processes will be explained throughout the video as we continue our discussion on project time management. The first key step to project time management is planning schedule management. This is defined as how the schedule will be managed throughout the lifespan of a project. Schedule management can be informal and broad, or formal and detailed in order to explain the needs of the project. There are many tools on the market that can help create a project schedule template, such as Microsoft Project. The project manager must determine whether the scale of the time is going to be described as days, weeks, or months for completion. Quality of work management helps ensure project members are completing quality work for the deliverables that are due on the project schedule so the project can be completed successfully with quality work. Schedule reports describes what activities were completed in order to complete a deliverable for the project and to keep track of completed work. The final part of project schedule management describes how all processes within the project will be completed. Project schedule management is very important to keep a project team on task and make sure that they are completing quality work and reporting it complete so work is not done twice, which would waste time in the project schedule which was made from the project manager.
The second step that we will be discussing under project time management is defining activities. Defining activities is the process of identifying and documenting the specific actions to be performed to produce project deliverables. The key benefit of defining activities is to break down packages into activities that provide a basis for estimating, scheduling, executing, monitoring, and controlling the project work. An activity or task is an element of work normally found on the work breakdown structure that has been expected duration, cost, and resource requirements. Tools and techniques used in defining activities include decomposition, rolling wave planning, templates, and expert judgment. After defining activities in project time management, the outputs typically include activity list, activity attribute, milestone list or checklist, and project management plan updates. These outputs help guide the project to its end goal, and without defining activities, the project will lack direction and would ultimately result in a failure. After activities have been defined, the next step is sequencing activities. Sequencing activity helps to identify the work to be done in a specific order and also help plan the activities in a timely and appropriate manner. Secondly, sequencing activity is mandated in order to use critical path analysis. Sequence activities can be performed by using manual or automated techniques or project management software. Activity sequencing reviews all activities in the WBS to identify relationships between the activities and classify all dependencies. Dependencies are important because they indicate the sequence the activities must occur. There are 4 types of relationships between tasks: finish to start, finish to finish, start to start, and start to finish. After all dependencies have been identified, a network diagram is created to show sequencing of projects. In addition, arrows are used to represent tasks and show dependencies, and this completed diagram is used to identify the critical path of a project. Without activity sequencing, the project will lack organization and could potentially fall apart due to misleading/incorrect information or steps throughout the course of the project.
When you know what you are going to do, the next step is to work out that resource you need to in order to achieve that. The next step is called estimating activity resource. In order to minimize the cost, it estimates whether you have enough resource to complete the assignment as scheduled or whether you need additional resource. It gives appropriate amount of resource to assign tasks that will prevent exceed of resource, thus there will be no waste of cost. Depending on the number of resources allocated for an activity, the duration varies. The activity require more resource will most likely have a longer duration time. The project management team should have a clear understanding about the resource allocation in order to accurately manage the project time. Without estimating activity resource, team would most likely face the condition such as out of resource or exit of good.
After estimating the activity resources, the next step is estimating activity durations. One of the mistakes that managers make when carrying out estimate activity durations is to assume that they must estimate the activity duration for each task, which also called guessing. Every activity has three attributes: its duration, the work effort, and the resources. Estimating activity durations process within PMBOK is to analyze each activity and estimate how long each of them will take. However, it must still depend on the amount of work required within the activity, the amount of resources that will be assigned to this activity, what those resources are, and when will they be available. The sequence within the time management process group is to first define activities, estimate the activity resources, then estimate the activity durations.
The sixth step in project time management is developing the schedule. Schedule development uses the results of the preceding 5 project management processes to determine the start and end dates of the project and its activities. The goal of developing a realistic project schedule is to provide a basis for monitoring project progress for the time dimension of the project. There are several tools and techniques that assist in schedule development. A Gantt chart is a common tool for displaying project schedule information. Gantt charts provide a standard format for displaying project schedule information. It completes this by listing project activities and their corresponding start and finish dates in the form of a calendar. Critical path analysis is important for developing and controlling project schedules. PERT analysis is used for considering schedule risks on projects. Critical chain scheduling is a technique that focuses on limited resources when creating a project schedule. And then the main outputs of this process are the project schedule, a schedule baseline, schedule data, project calendars, project management plan updates, and project document updates. The seventh and final process in project time management is controlling the schedule. The goal of this process is to know the status of the schedule, influence the factors that cause schedule changes, and determine that the schedule has changed, and managing any changes that occur. The main inputs to schedule control are project schedule, work performance data, the project management plan, schedule data, and organizational process assets. Some tools and techniques that are used in controlling the schedule include, but are not limited to, performance reviews, what-if scenario analysis, variance analysis, project management software such as Project 2013, and a schedule change control system. The main outputs from schedule control are organizational process assets such as lessons learned reports related to controlling the schedule, work performance measurements, change requests, and project document updates.